We are live.
And there it is.
Why am I
Wow.
so angry? Why?
Wow. There it is, Johnny.
Why am I
Well,
so
welcome.
angry?
Welcome everybody. Recovery. Wow. Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
And
let's talk
let's
about
talk
it.
about it, Johnny. Let's
Yeah.
talk about it. Before we get started, though, we want to welcome all the viewers and everybody that's watching. But Johnny, I want to, if you say hello, that's great. I want to give my condolences with your blessing, Johnny, in the passing of your father.
Hmm.
And I know it was hard. So our condolences
Yeah.
and really,
It's been a struggle, guys. But let me just tell you this: if anybody in recovery and you are struggling and you are angry, it's okay to be not okay. It doesn't feel good. I miss my father already. Um, we had a kind of a relationship that it wasn't the most boasting, beautiful, but what happened was in the last 15 years, 10 years, really, it got better by taking suggestions and not being so angry.
yep,
So I'm able to feel today. Yeah.
there it
Thank you
is.
very much, Glenn. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yep.
well,
Yeah, man.
there it is. There it is. Suggestions and
Suggestion.
that anger is it's a killer. And
Yeah,
you
it
know,
is.
it's a funny. I wrote it. I had to look it up. So its definition of anger is a strong feeling of annoyance or displeasure or hostility.
Yeah.
And it's funny because that is a dangerous feeling. And obviously, we don't walk by feelings, but these things happen. And so, and especially for me, the MO,
Hmm.
retaliate or run. You know
Yeah.
me, John. I mean, that was the MO. So retaliate, fight back, and really it all stems from fear. And I'm losing control of the situation. I feel inferior,
Hmm.
and anger is looming, and it's always been very empowering for me
Right.
to get angry. It feels like I have control. It's a false sense of security, but it certainly feels like I have control. So and you can find that in my walk, in my life, my marriage, and in other areas. So never proves to be very beneficial. No.
I'm laughing because we've been through it. Yeah,
Mm.
anger is something else, but what I'm able to do is not be so emotionally immature as much as I used to be. I'm able to use some of the tools that have been given to me. I'm able to pause, and I'm going to say this again. I'm gonna pause when I get angry. Sit down for a second, just pause, relax, just kind of absorb the fact that things are not going my way. And what happens is when you start utilizing these tools and you start getting with a group of guys, and there's Glenn over the years, he's helped me out. And when I was struggling, I'm able to go ahead and be open-minded, be willing and be teachable to take another suggestion, where my go-to was a shotgun. And a shotgun was to scream and yell, be angry, and be emotionally mature and handle the situation. Like, there's a lot of things right now that, I have emotions, and I could say, why God, why? I don't ask those questions anymore. I've been able to, for the last 5 days, to walk through this with integrity, with my head held high, to be there, maybe for my family, and to just show others that it can be done, and I don't have to get crazy emotional. I can, feel the pain and walk through it. Right? There's
Wow.
spurts of anger, but I can slow down,
Yep.
pause. It's very
Yep.
important that I understand that. And when I'm telling you this, guys, I'm talking to myself. I have to hear this over and over again so that I can digest it and then apply it in my life. So Glenn and
Yep.
me have been talking for a long time, and we're able to walk through a lot of stuff. You know about it, Glenn. So
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Emotional
man.
insecurity, man. It really is. It's really good. It's emotional insecurity.
Yeah,
Immature rather is nobody taught me. You say, man, I came out of the gate. I didn't have any knowledge. I didn't understand how to communicate. I didn't know how to be in a relationship. I did not understand love, any of those things. So
No,
I
me neither.
became willing, like you said, to be teachable and
Yeah.
let somebody teach me that very thing. Like, how do I pause? You know, how do I work through it? And we do work through it through accountability.
Yeah.
Through having each other, and we're able to work through it.
Yeah, and you know, when you're saying those things, what comes to mind is, guys, practice makes habit. Practice makes. So emotional sobriety. We don't want to be too high or too low. We want to be in the middle. But in the beginning, there's up and down. There's all over the place, because I didn't know how to handle these things. I did not know how to digest. I did not know how to listen, because now that I understand that listening is a form of communication. So when someone's telling me something and I'm very agitated, angry, and I have resentments that are starting to build, I'm able to talk about it, slow down, hear what they have to say, so that they can redirect my thinking, so that I'm making healthy decisions, pointing my foot in the right direction, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Oh,
just to me.
No. Absolutely, Ronnie.
I've lived it, baby.
It makes perfect sense, and listening is key. And so really, really good. You know what we're going to do is we're going to invite a guest on. We have a guest waiting in the green room.
Brother
Brian, one of our
great,
one of my great friends, great brothers in the Lord. It's amazing. He's going to come on, and we'll let him give his little suggestion, and we'll welcome him to the show. And there you are, Brian. Welcome. Welcome, Brian, to Recovery. Let's talk about it. So
let's talk about it.
Yeah, peace and blessings, brother. Peace and blessings. My name's Brother Brian D. My clean date is March 10th, 2007. So as you know, I said clean. I got clean in Narcotics Anonymous, NA. I currently I'm in Celebrate Recovery. I'm a servant leader there, and the anger. Why am I so angry? And you know, you guys were touching on a lot of things. It's when I'm not in control, man. You know, and if some of us, you know, maybe have been in recovery a while, would know the term codependency slash.
Heard that said a couple times.
Yes, codependency slash anger. Yeah, I put the drugs down 16 years ago. And that's the only thing I could really say that that God has set me 100% free of, because I can get angry at the drop of a hat when my spiritual pants are down. You know, when I'm not doing those first 3 steps: surrender, turn over. I call it like a waltz. I'm getting a call. Hold on, let me turn that.
Yeah.
Can you guys? Okay. Coming in. So
yeah.
That's why I was trying to use.
Yeah, we know about it. We know about the call. We know about the call.
Yeah.
So hey, this is live and uncut, and it's real. It's live, uncut. It's real, and things happen.
So the 1, 2, 3 little waltz of surrender, turn over, let go. As long as I'm in that, you know, kind of like dance in my life, like walking through life like that, I'm good. But if I'm not in that, I can come out of the side of my neck at the drop of a hat, and it has happened. Now, early recovery, you know, there was a lot of I had a lot of we talked about expectations. As in recovery, you've probably heard expectations or resentments waiting to happen. So I would put, especially being, you know, I'm a Christian, and I was going to, you know, start going to church, and I thought everybody was gonna like walk through the door, and you would hear angels go, oh, and a little gleam would come off their teeth, and you know, so I had these high expectations, and I realized I was getting hurt a lot. But the thing it was, because I had them up so high, and now because it's always a two-way street, I tell people right away, I'm going to let you down. The only one who's not going to let you down is God. The only one who's not going to let me down is God. So as far as like the anger goes, like I said, I you know, it happened about a couple weeks ago at the YMCA. I was getting out of the shower, and this young young guy. He just started making all these racial epithets at me. Here I am, vulnerable. He's 20, 30 years younger than me. I'm in a towel. I felt, and once I got my pants on, I went out to confront him, and there was a scene. I had to go back into that YMCA and apologize to those people. I haven't seen that guy since, but I had to apologize and realize, man, people can go to. That's why there's people in prison. You know, they can fall off. You could, you know, here I am, 16 years clean. You know, making a spectacle out of myself, and it happened. It happened. I got caught. My ego got bruised. Here I am. I was in a bad situation. This guy is, you know, up in my grill. I felt defenseless, you know. So, but once I strapped on my shoes and I put my shorts on, man, I came out of the side of my neck, and it was a lesson. Someone from church even was there. What happened, Brian? And they were all. I told them, and they were all like, "Oh, don't worry, you had the right." I said, "No, there was no right. I was wrong. I shouldn't have reacted like that." And I had to go back with hat in hand, they call it. And because, you know, it was a scene, it was a big scene. And here I am thinking, man, imagine if somebody that I was witnessing to about the Lord saw that and they'd be like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Or someone in recovery that looks up, you know, that maybe I sponsor or something in NA.
That's a perfect example, because there's a lot of people like there's this old saying, silence is golden and duct tape is silver, right?
Yeah.
So I have to really watch my walk every day, and luckily I have accountability in my life, and I'm able to talk about it. So those angers, man, get you in trouble in a heartbeat.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely.
So what I did, you know, like after that happened, I went home, and I didn't go to bed angry. I took it, you know, to the God of my understanding, which who is Jesus Christ, and the Bible says don't go to bed angry. You know, it also says other things about angry, like don't, you know, keep your mouth shut, be quiet, and don't be angry. But this time, you know, I fell short, and I repented. I turned from that behavior, and hopefully next time I'll handle it a little. And I haven't been angry like that in a long time. Sure, you get angry sometimes. Someone stops short in traffic, and you kind of almost, you know, and stuff like that. But this was, I mean, you know, like. The heart, man. It could. I wanted to hurt the person.
All right, brother, you're going on and on, man. We're gonna cut you short, and we got to get to the rest of the meeting. But we thank you for coming on, and
brother,
your explanation and really both the anger and really how it works, and it really does work. We have skills and abilities to get through it and get on the other side of it. So appreciate you coming
just 1, 2, 3. Do those. Stay in those first 3 steps. And we'll be okay, man. Once I leave that, you know, it's on.
Game over. All right, Brian. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
God bless.
All right, you too, buddy.
So
yeah, man. Yeah.
So there we go. Yeah.
You know,
that's you know, it's another angle, and it's true. It's you know, you talked about resentment a little bit, but really. It's, you know, getting so, why am I so angry? I'm defensive at the littlest of comments, the littlest of things just cause me to throw up the defenses, and I'm offended, and, you know, I lose control. And now I want to really, what happens is I have a desire to do it right. But early on, I know I have to be taught and learn and practice that, but it's more straight out retaliation.
Yeah.
It's
90% of the time, Glenn, is when things are not going my way. When things are not going my way in my life, and especially when there's fear involved or money, I will act out to try to manipulate why it should go a certain way. And what will happen is I will pay dearly, right? Yeah. I will pay dearly. So I have to really, and I'm going to say this twice, I have to really pay attention to my motives every day. I have to really pay attention to my motives, because my old patterns are to manipulate the way that I think and want, where sometimes things happen. And when it happens that way, I have to go, all right, well, I don't know what you're trying to do, Lord, but there's a certain way. And what'll happen is a week will go by, 10 days, 2 days, whatever will go by where something else will come into place. And I'm like, I did not force it. So getting angry of controlling is one of my biggest things.
Yep.
And we've talked about that a lot, brother, over the years, you know?
We worked through it. And, you know, I mean, shoot, just being angry that I'm powerless and my life was unmanageable. It's crazy, but that was enough to make me angry in the beginning. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I did not like the idea that I didn't have power and control.
Yeah.
And that I was going to have to face up to all these things. And I was looking at the wreckage of the past. It was nasty, but the journey started. It began for me. And that's crazy because in that moment, we get to learn all of the stuff that we're talking about. So, but the resentment part, when we do finally get to it, here it is again. So, and I did the justice of looking that one up. It's bitter indignation at having been treated unfairly. So I don't care if it's my wife or if it's my neighbor or, like Brian was saying, somebody at somewhere. You know, if I just get a feeling that you're treating me unfairly, is boom, immediate red flag. I already start to feel it. You know, so I have the fear I'm being disrespected, you know, or not appreciated, not listened to, or I don't matter. And so
so what do we do? What do we do? Well, the first thing that I do is I automatically sit down. That is what I do when I get angry or resentment or have emotional immaturity coming in. I sit down and I'm like, all right, what do I need to do? And I calm down.
You do that today, Johnny.
Yeah.
That's what you do today.
That's what I did today.
But you didn't do that the first year you got married, now, did you?
No, heck no.
Okay.
Heck no. Right. So that's what I'm saying, guys, if you're coming into this and you're learning about anger, you're going to go through emotional stages. The best thing to do, start out right away, is pause. And you're not going to want to do that, but that's where accountability comes in.
We made the mistakes.
Yeah.
We made the mistakes.
Oh, my Lord.
We fell short. We retaliated or we ran. And then we usually called each other. And we got on the phone and we said, this ain't the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
We knew better. I can't. There's so many conversations over the last 15 years that me and you've had at different places, different scenarios, many, many, many that I can think of. I mean, you know, I don't know. Should I tell the group about when you were getting married and I was working down? Should I say a little something like that or no? Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you anyway.
So. I mean, really.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, Glenn was getting married, you know, a long time ago. And I said, no, don't do it.
10 years ago in July.
What are you, crazy? Oh, I wouldn't do that. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to get married. And so now I look back and, like, first of all, I wasn't encouraged. I didn't encourage him, you know, and there's a lot of tools that I have. I mean, it comes to the fact that you start to learn what not to do with love, right? Yeah, I mean, as far as me doing things every day, I try not to get angry so that I have love involved, you know. And it's guys, it's a process and it takes time.
Well, it's funny, and that it is a process and it does take time.
But I'm glad you're married to a wonderful lady.
Yeah, I appreciate that. She's
I was the same way. I got married and Glenn's like, okay, well, that's one way to do it. And we've been married 8 years now. So we've been together 9 years, but married 8. So
hey, and you touched on it, emotional immaturity.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, let me just read this to you again. I got to do it because I looked up all three. I got to read it. So as we move through life, however, our various life experiences may alter our outlook and the way we view certain situations. Growing up with insecure attachments, a past trauma, and unsupported or mental health conditions, or a lack of self-awareness are some of the reasons why we lack emotional maturity. So there's a lot of wounds and a lot of things and a lot of damage, specifically in my past, being, you know, and obviously, so part of my past is that I was abused, you know, sexually. I grew up in the wrong way. I did not graduate high school. You know, I mean, I came out of the gate, you know, scarred and wounded, emotionally immature. And so, and then the
But
funny
you're
thing
able
is,
to come.
forward,
Hey,
marriage will teach you that.
you're able to come through those things. You got your diploma, right? You're able to, and you know, heal and stuff like that. But guys, through the recovery of doing the steps and to put it on paper and to have someone guide you through this, you will be able to heal, and you'll be able to you know, make amends, and you'll be able to move on without resentment and anger. Because if you're staying in recovery and you're not doing the work and you're not putting it on paper, there's a matter of time where you're going to be angry, resentful. It's like putting, and I'll leave with this. It's like putting a Band-Aid on an abscess. It starts with an inside job. I mean, it's inside. You have to take care of an abscess with taking medicine that's inside. It has to. So that's the same thing.
Yeah.
As all this anger and resentment, emotional immaturity.
Loving me back to health.
Yeah.
It's really what I found out, is that I didn't know how to receive or give love in the beginning. But then I learned to open up to it, and really the love of my mentor and sponsor, you know, God himself, just learning how to let that love get in and heal some of those deep wounds.
It takes time.
It takes time. And so those suggestions are free. I know I said it before, they cost you if you don't take them.
Yeah.
You know,
jails, institutions, or death. Yeah. Those are the three.
There you go. So jail, institution, and death for me, super close.
Yeah. Me too.
Very close.
Yeah.
So
I'm just grateful that I'm aware, guys. And if you were struggling, you know, leave your comments, and you know, if there's something you're struggling with, leave your comments in the comments below, and let us know, because you know, we've been through a lot together. I mean, we have been through cancer. You know, Glenn had cancer, and I was able to go and be there for him. And let me tell you something, I cried a lot. I got very angry, emotional, and I was able to talk with him about it. But my point is that if you're struggling with something, let us know, so that we can maybe give you a suggestion and say, hey, look, this is what we did. You know, this is what happened to us. So I'm grateful that I'm able to be there for someone else and love on you guys, you know. So
definitely, Johnny.
Yeah, brother.
At Recovery, let's talk about it. 444. You can find that. You can find us, and definitely subscribe. You know, leave your comments, and you know, we want to answer them. We want to talk about what actually people want to hear, or their comments. We want to talk about those things specifically. So
if you guys look on the bottom here, it says anger does not solve anything, but it can destroy everything. And I'm telling you, it can destroy everything. So just easy does it, you know. Just sit back, talk, relax, don't get angry, you know.
So I'll leave it with
that's all I got for you, brother.
Well, life is relational. It's everything we do involves a relationship with something or somebody, God and others, people, you and me. And in those relationships, man, we do eventually learn how to communicate and be honest and solve problems. We can work through those things. And this is what we've learned along the way. These problems don't have to trip us up and get us to go back to where we came from. We can actually move forward. Through the pain, through the change. So we're going to learn. We're going to continue to learn. We're going to talk. We're going to listen, which is a form of communication. We're going to do both. And we're going to keep talking about it here at Let's Talk About It.
Yeah, so, easy does it. Love yourself. It's okay. It's okay to be not okay, guys.
It's okay to not be okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching, attending, and we will see you next time.
Yeah.
Well then.
Love you guys.
Love.